right, hello, quick experiment here. I have this Sweet Poppy Stencil, and I've been wanting to do a certain type of experiment with it with my mirror card formatting for a while. Haven't gotten around to it, getting around to it right here. All right, so we have this formatted, and I have this split right down the middle of the mirror. So my idea is that when this is reflected, it should reflect down and back to give us this kind of this three-dimensional type of look. Let's see what it looks like. Let's see if, I don't know, my theory and application kind of meet. I don't know, even if it's halfway, it'll be pretty good, I think. Let's see how it goes. Okay, now, the Sweet Poppy Stencil, I mean, it's, these have been designed to be used with, different types of coloring on them, not in white, like a reverse out thing. But I think it'll look pretty cool on here, though. And give us, kind of, I'm hoping for a, kind of a cool kind of option for, maybe a little bit of a different type of holiday card, Christmas card. Okay. All right, I'm just using a cotton ball to get a lot of this ink in here. I'm not getting into the grooves really super well, so I'll try a stencil brush coming up here, but this is just to kind of take care of kind of the larger areas, with this, just standard 100% cotton ball. Okay. All right, adding this in here. This is using the Brilliance White Pigment Ink. It's a fast drying, water-based pigment ink, okay? It's a little bit different than the oil-based ones, in that the oil-based ones, they dry by absorption as well as evaporation. So in this case, we can't absorb into this surface. So we're going to really have to rely on a lot of the evaporation. And that's what the Brilliance inks are designed for. I think they're really designed for drawing on glossy cardstock, okay? Which is a porous cardstock, but not as porous as, of course, a matte or something of that sort. Okay, so these stencil brushes are, these stencils, if you buy stencil brushes, the traditional ones, they're designed for paint. So, we're using ink here, but I tend to see pigment inks almost like paint because they're thick. Yeah, I see them as paint in viscosity, okay? All right, now this is getting into this more kind of detailed area, no problem. All right. Now, I haven't done stenciling before until recently. So, I'm by no means a schooled practitioner in this. So there's probably things I'm doing wrong or whatever, or things I can be doing better. Totally acknowledge that. Okay. You can leave your comments down below. Hey, Kevin, don't do it that way. Do it this way, or you're doing it all wrong or whatever. You tell me to go back to stencil school. Okay, now this Brilliance ink will dry on this foil, but it won't adhere to it. We have to spray seal it, okay? On certain types of metallic papers, it's, it might seal, I'm not sure, or adhere. But on this one, not really. This is much too mirrored and glassy of a surface. I think my paper might be moving around a little bit underneath this too. So, but I don't know, maybe not too much. Okay, I think I have that down. Okay, now I'm going to stamp. This is Stampscapes channel video here. So I'm going to put something in the center here. So I need a little bit of a kind of a little misty haze type of thing going on down here. All right, or in the top portion. I was thinking about the lakeside cabin right in here. So let's see how that goes. Okay, now maybe I should put a little bit of black around this. I'm not sure. Yeah, something like that might be kind of interesting. And I would do it in, let's see, the Brilliance Black. Okay, let's give that a try. All right. Let me go multi-tonal here. For me, I might as well try it. While I'm at it, because I haven't, like I said, I haven't done stenciling before. So let's get a couple, different little looks down here. I'll go around on the perimeter a little bit, just to kind of vary that white just a touch. I don't know. I'm hoping it looks a little bit more rich in terms of the tonal, textural quality of the piece. I don't know. Okay, and let's go about like that. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Did I create a mess or did I do okay? Okay, I think the impressions look pretty cool. Whether or not the black worked or not, I guess it looks okay. All right, so let me see how this looks here. All right, yeah, see that? Do you see that going back in the distance like that? Now, if I didn't have this down here, you'd be able to see a little bit more. Maybe I need to, eradicate some of that or something like that. But see that right there? It's like this three-dimensional world. You have it going back into the distance, like horizontal, and then you have it going vertical as well, like down there. Okay, isn't that cool? Mirror card formatting. There's not like a term. Someone said they looked up mirror cards, because they were wanting to purchase like this thing. It's like, there's no such thing as mirror cards. I just kind of made that up. But I think it's I don't know. I think it describes the I don't know, whatever the format, just fine. Okay. All right. So let me see here. Let me get. Grabbing the lakeside cabin. Luckily, it wasn't the absolute last set that I looked through. Every time I'm going for something, it's like the last set that I find here. Okay, so that is, let's see, the cabin's roughly about right here. And I'm looking for that water line. My tack and peel's a little bit cloudy these days, from usage. It's always a good sign. It means you've been busy stamping, and when all of your materials are kind of you know, all mucked up and whatnot. Okay, so let's see, it's going about right here. Sorry about my head in the way. Here, let me get out of this a little bit. But, okay, so I'm just getting my eyeball kind of lined up like about like so, and the cabin is roughly about like that. Okay, it's going about right here. Like a little ornament or something like that would be cool in here too. But, you know, this is a scenic stamping channel, so there we have it like that. But see, that stands out now because I whited out the background. Black on that silver won't show up at all. But look at this right here. See that? That's what we're going. See, this is like coming out on the surface right here. But then that is going down like that back there. And if we can see it back there, see that other line is like back in there. But see that right there? It's like this hovering thing. See that like that? It's like real three-dimensional that way. But this is just one thing like that. But then when you go like that in itself, this is reflecting down there and this is reflecting in here like that. So it's pretty cool. It's almost like a, I don't know, like a little globe or something like that. It looks real three-dimensional that way. So this is like a mirror-in-mirror type of format here, which I thought would be really cool for this circle template like that. And of course, it's kind of within, you know, it's within theme of, you know, Christmas. Speaking of that, let's kind of keep going with that theme here. Okay. I'm going to stamp a couple trees in here. All right, now on this one, maybe I should have went with a StazOn on that. I don't know. Let's go with the StazOn on this one, though. Let's see how it works out. I'm going to do the trees right here. It's one tree, but I'll stamp, you know, multiple trees. Okay. All right, let's go here. It's easy to kind of skew the impressions, so be careful about that when you're stamping kind of on this super mirrored cardstock. But here's the trees like that. You see that right there? It's kind of hard to see it a little bit, you know, over the silver. Hard to photograph, but pretty dynamic in person. Okay, so keep that in mind. Usually photographing at a kind of a 45-degree angle tends to work. And, you know, I told someone, don't worry about having your hand in the photo. Why not, you know? A lot of people don't like having their hands in the photos. But, you know, we're crafters. We make stuff by hand. Why not have the hand in there? I think it's a good, you know, I think it's a good look. Okay, so those are 6 impressions of the pine tree. Done in StazOn, all right. About like so. So you get that like that. Little foreground imagery like so. I think that is really fun and really cool. All right, so let's see here. I have a white acrylic paint pen. And, okay, now, like I said, the imagery that has been stamped on and the ink applied to the Brilliance ink applied is a little bit wet still, but it is prone to smearing at this point in time. You can dry it with heat. You can heat set it, okay, but just be careful about wiping it off, okay? It'd be easy to do that at this point in time. Okay, so I'm just going to illuminate that window of that house a little bit more. The white from my acrylic paint pen is going to be lighter than the white of the pigment ink blocking out that I did. Okay, and going down here, we will add some little bit of highlights to some of these rocks down here. Yeah, they could be capturing some of that lighting in there or whatnot. Okay, so see that right there? But look at the reflection of it. See, it stands out even more so like that. See that thing going on in the background like that? It's like Saturn or something like that. You know, this 45-degree angle, like about like so. All right, and let's see. Let's go into some of these and add on some little highlights here and there on some of these little poinsettias. As you're applying that ink on there, if you have like different colors of Brilliance ink, you might be able to add, I don't know, a little bit of color in here too. Wouldn't that be great with a little bit of red, kind of on that white? I would probably do a little bit of field of white, though. I don't know if I would just go on with red with such a dark surface like this. Like this silver. Oh, I didn't even think about gold. I don't know if the gold... I want to go for maximum reflective qualities here, I think, with the silver. Silver's like a mirror. The gold may work, but I'm not sure. Okay, but these little highlights in here are kind of adding, I think, to that little... are helping the reflective nature of this formatting here. Or it should. Let's see. Like that. And see, I'm looking at that like lower one down there. I think it is. I'm not sure. Oh, I should have added a few little clouds down here. I'm going to add them up top here. All right, so a ripped, torn paper towel, cloud technique. Let's see, let's go for a little bit more variation here. Like that. There's our cloud template. I hear, you make it look so easy. The ripping paper thing is not hard to do, but keep it easy, an easy process when you start applying some of this by not applying. Look at that. There was some green on my template before. I just didn't clean it off, but that's fine. Don't make it a hard process by going on with a big goopy ball of pigment ink on here. See how light it is like that? I'm applying a very light amount of it. So blot it off first if you need to, and then start applying on there. Get a feel of it, especially if you haven't done this before. People go on with that, and they hit it with this big goopy thing, and they go blah, 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 like blob of paint, blob of paint, blob of paint with each tap, okay? And then they think, oh my God, okay, this is a hard process, And I always tell them, it's not like magic, there's nothing up my sleeves here. But you have to kind of do the technique that I'm doing. I'm doing a dry brushing technique. Don't use a wet brushing technique, okay, with this. So, in other words, just don't go on with too wet of a, in this case, a cotton ball here, okay? And it is 100% cotton. It's not like a synthetic poly type of cotton ball, okay? So just keep that in mind. It's like the difference between, you know, spray paint or something like that. You know, we're going on with a light coat, you know, you know what I mean? As opposed to like a brush filled with a ton of paint or something like that. So, you know, just keep the techniques the same, which involves having a certain amount of ink applying at any given time. So, you know, we're going for like more like a mist, or what I always tell people is, you know, kind of imagine that they're applying kind of like powder to the scene, okay, as opposed to kind of a thick paste or, you know, slathering of paint, okay. Now we're using a wet medium, of course, and it's not powder, but that's kind of the feel you want. See that? Tapping that down like that and getting that kind of that looser type of format on there, okay? And then we get something like that. It's just some light clouds up above like that, okay? And I think I'll add some more a little bit down here, like amongst the trees, I think. Yeah, you know, I'm going over the black. Ideally, I would have done this before I stamped the trees, but I could always stamp more trees if I want to, right over the top of it. But it's just kind of getting a little bit of that tone down below, like that. And I'm doing it right over these black trees because the black trees are stamped in StazOn, so they're not wiping off. If I stamp them in Brilliance, then I'm spray sealing them before I do this, okay? A lot of you have a solvent black. Not all of you have like a Brilliance black, though, okay? That could have been stamped in Brilliance black, though, keep in mind. But this right here, I don't know how another way to do that other than the Brilliance white. So it's a really good medium to, I don't know, to add to your, you know, your supply list if you want to do certain types of applications on certain types of surfaces. It's just very compatible with that, so just keep that in mind. All right, so I'm going to add in some little bit of splatter painting. This is a snowfall type of situation right here, and I'm going to be doing it just on the upper portion like that, okay? I guess I don't know, now that I think about it, I guess it's okay to add some below too if we want. And again, okay, so see this right here? Not adding a ton of ink in this. I just added it just to the tip there, not to the whole thing. Okay, that'd be too much. In fact, when I add it just to the tip, I'm removing, I don't know, most, oops, I just went like that, and it totally sprayed up top there, so it gave me a little bit of a head start in this whole process, I guess. All right, I might want it over the whole thing, so let me just go like this. I'll kind of have it predominantly up top here, I think. This, okay. A little bit of a kind of a winter wonderland type of thing. Go down a little bit below here too. Just going for a little bit of extra kind of snowy texture. And that's it. I'm not going to go for too much on this one because I don't want it, you know, ultra busy. It's already looking a little bit busy up there. But what you do is you just vary it a little bit more with the use of some scale. So in other words, I'm going in here with some larger dots like this, okay? It could represent snowfall or stars in your sky. I don't know what I see it as. I guess I see it as both, snow and stars maybe. It's snow if you kind of put it in front of your imagery down here, like over the tops of some trees, then that's like a snowflake. It's kind of like a snowflake a la, you know, Charlie Brown, Christmas or something like that more than something in reality, but, you know, it kind of makes a point like that. So see that right up there? But then you have this aspect of it like that. And see, like that. It's like that cabin is sitting amongst this kind of this it's like these rings going around it like that. It's this it's like, I don't know, it's like I think it's floating in there. I tend to think that's what it looks like a little bit. So anyways, that is the card there. I don't know, it's a fast card. This is like 25 minutes, and this is like the first time I've done it. I haven't done stenciling before either. Now, is that black okay up there? Maybe it would have looked better just with crisp white, you know? Maybe. I don't know. But here's that thing back there. Here's this thing being reflected behind it looks like it's behind, you know, the cabin like that, right? And this one looks like it's going below the surface down there. It looks like it's kind of hovering out in space in some ways. I think it's totally cool looking like that. And if you put this at, you know, like 45 degrees like that, let's see, that's about 45 degrees like right there. This thing just kind of goes back into space as if this was, you know, if you're looking at it like this, you know, like flat like that, but then you go like that. I don't know, these things crack me up too sometime, you know, because they're totally, I think they're totally fun and cool, you know, playing with mirrors, you know, what could be more fun than that in stamping or getting a very three-dimensional look, but it's 2D, you know, and it's very little stamping here. One, two, I don't know, several impressions right there with the trees. Little mouse, little cloud up top. Yeah, let's see that little haze of clouds down there kind of brought those trees out a little bit more. Do those first, though, before you stamp on the trees, unlike what I did, kind of deciding after the fact. All right, so anyways, hope you enjoyed it. Give it a try, have fun. We do have to spray seal this, yeah, you know, but small price to pay for kind of the, I don't know, it's like a mere space card, three-dimensional hovering space Christmas card. Thanks for watching.